Okay, I just want to say thank you to Joe and Teniel for inviting me along with that bread making class. I am going to show you something that's really French, and that's typically from where I come from in France, and it's called une gache vendeenne, which is a type of brioche. In France, there's a lot of different ways of making brioche, and this is the one that is very typical to where I come from. I like this recipe because it is actually very simple to make, a little bit simpler than another brioche, and it's made more like a bread dough, and there's not much molding or not much manual handling involved. So the first thing you got to do is actually make your dough the day before. So we're going to put all our ingredients in. We first going to put our milk. And then some yeast. Now, if you don't have fresh yeast, which it's really hard to find unless you work in a bakery, I use dry yeast, which is one of the tips my husband is a baker, and that's one of the tips my husband gave me. So when you're using dry yeast, you just use about a third of what the recipe is asking you for fresh. And we're going to warm that up. So yeast reacts when it's warm. So we're just going to warm up the milk and then finish it. Now we're almost done with the milk. One tip with the warming up the milk, if you don't follow the recipe, if you do it manually, just make sure your milk doesn't get above 35, 37 degrees. If it's too hot, it's actually going to kill the yeast and it's not going to work. And if it's too cold, it's the same. The yeast won't be activated. So this recipe is actually in French. And if you use Google Translate, just take a picture of the recipe, use Google Translate, and it will translate it for you. Or just give me a shout, and I'm more than happy to do that for you. But the settings on there says just 37 degrees. We are just about done. Now we're going to add our eggs. The same. Ideally, you don't want to take your eggs out of the fridge, or you just want to let them out for a little bit. They need to not cool down that temperature of the milk too much. Then we add something again that's very French. And now there is a very good replacement here you can use for that, which is sour cream. If you can find creme fraiche, though, it does taste a little bit better. The sour cream has a tendency to be a bit more sour and gives a different flavor. So 40 grams of that. Then we have our flour. Sugar. Now this recipe is also asking for vanilla sugar, but I actually don't bother to put it in because I've modified that recipe a little bit to then put rum instead, and this is the way they would have made it where I come from. So we're going to need the dough now. Now that time is actually quite long. I don't know if you can see on my screen. It's about 10 minutes, so you don't want to walk away from your bench for too long. The machine will move a little bit, which is okay, but make sure that if you've got a bench that's not very deep, or what, you're not walking too far. This is quite a long kneading recipe, but it needs it to activate it and get it to bind together. All right, now the second part is actually where we're gonna add our butter. And one of the best way to do this is to actually dice your butter in pretty small cubes if you can, and let it soften a little bit on your bench before you making that recipe. If the butter is too hard, it's going to be quite hard to add into the mix, and then you're going to end up sort of over kneading the dough to try to incorporate the butter. So we need 120 grams of butter, and then we're going to knead for another 20 minutes. Now, so that second knead is done, and we have quite a nice silky dough. It's a bit sticky and gluey, which is what we want. And we're just gonna add our flavors. So I like it with rum. This is where traditionally how it was made, where I come from, but you can use anything else. A lot of them use orange blossom flower, water, sorry. Or anything like that, so whatever you want. It does need sort of that sort of little flavor to really give it a nice flavor, a nice sweet flavor once it's cooked. So we're just gonna need that for another 3 minutes, and our dough will be done. Once the dough is done, I'm hoping you can hear me despite the noise. Once the dough is done, we actually will get it to rest for a few hours before we'll let it rest overnight in the fridge. Okay, my dough is finished kneading, so I don't know if you can see it well, but it's actually very nice, silky, shiny type dough. It's quite sticky, which is what we want, but I am now gonna put it actually in a bowl. The recipe is asking you to let it rest, or if you want, rise in the bowl. I have done it a few times in the bowl, but I found that it then end up being, so you probably can't see me. It's get the dough actually quite hard to remove from that bowl, so I actually just put a normal stainless steel bowl with a bit of oil in it, and just put my dough to rise in it for the next couple hours, and then I'll show you the next step. So we're just gonna tip it upside down. Now, it's quite a heavy dough, even heavier than a bread. So one of the things I found that helps to remove it is to get your blades loose, like this. I will put my hands in the blades after, and you just get it to keep twisting until it's sort of, you'll feel it. It becomes quite loose once the dough is released. There we go, I can feel it coming off, and there is my dough coming out, and there. Now I've got a bit more dough in the bowl that I will finish taking off with my hands, because it's just easier. Just careful with the blades, it can get quite sharp, as you know. Now we're not, compared to a bread, you don't need to do the turns like you would do with a normal sourdough bread and getting the gluten stretched out. The gluten's already really stretched out because we kneaded it for so long in there. That's the difference. But we also needed to incorporate the butter, which is what the structure comes from in that bread. Here is my dough, and I am just gonna a little bit to make it go smoother. And there it is, and I'm gonna let that rest now for about a couple hours on the bench, and I'll see you back in a while. There it is, my dough is now rested, and I am gonna have to shape it and make it to then leave it to rest in the fridge for overnight, and then we will bake it tomorrow. So you just need a little bit of light flour on your bench or on a mat, whatever is easier, and we are just gonna shape it. Now, I'm not always the greatest at shaping things like that, so this is my way. Of doing it. And that's pretty much it. We are now going to leave that in the dish and leave it in the fridge overnight, and then we will put an egg wash tomorrow on it and then bake it. My dough's been resting overnight in the fridge, and if you're like me, you want to have this for breakfast. What I did to rise that proving, just turn your oven on and put it on the lowest setting you can, warm it up, and then put this in your oven once it's warmed up, and leave the door open, turning off the oven. The warmth of the oven would help kickstarting that proving, and you can see it's risen quite well and doubled in size, which is what we wanted. And we're now going to put an egg wash on it and cook it. One of the things I learned with egg wash to make it easier is that just whisk your egg that you're ready and just add a drop of water. The protein in egg yolk is quite thick and heavy, and the water in it will help to actually make that egg wash a little bit easier to lay out on there, and it's not going to scramble the egg or make it that really thick scramble looking once you've put it on. So we're just going to baste that over the brioche. So, and I'm just gonna when cutting the dough, you want to do it in one easy movement, not too deep, but no jagged cuts. I apologize for not being able to attend in person and hope you had fun. Just wanted to let you know the results were served for breakfast with butter and jam on it, and if you are dare to try, dip it in your black coffee, and this is the best breakfast ever. Thanks again to Teniel, Joe, and Colette, and bon appétit.